And hello, all my fellow nerds out there. This is Oracle and Richie, and welcome back once again to Doki Doki Literature Club Blue Skies. So, last time we got started on the Halloween arc, and this time we're gonna be continuing where we left off. We're sharing poems with everybody. Uh, on honestly, I'm pretty sure there wasn't a segment where we had to click words though, so I'm guessing we just have a poem automatically. So I'm gonna go in the order that I always did. Sorry. My old friend, there is a dark hollow thing that follows close to me that follows close and to me clings. Hmm. It sticks to me and turns in turn when I spin around and discern. In the dark, in the deep, the faintest shape that it keeps. It goes away when sunlight shines, the sunshine sweet and warm and kind. But does it really? Is it gone? Or does it secretly keep on? Is it really hiding there, staring from beneath the chair, glaring from atop the stairs, nowhere but yet everywhere? In the corner in the gap, I stare in and it looks back, weighing down, draining out. That was very interesting, Sayori. I always enjoy seeing poets step out of their comfort zone a little bit, especially when it comes to writing horror. What do you mean? You typically don't write darker poems, correct? Unless I've misinterpreted. No, you're right, Yuri. This was real change of pace. It was fun. Well, I'm glad my suggestion has gone down well then. I figured it would be fitting for the occasion. uh, don't give her too much praise. She'll start thinking she's the next Stephen King. Hey, I'd be a great horror writer. Actually, no, wait, I wouldn't. I'm not big on, like, actually scary stuff. Makes sense. What's this poem about anyway? Oh, well, it's about whatever you think it's about. Are you trying to sound like Yuri? No, silly. I didn't write it with a specific thing in mind. It can be about whatever you fear most. Hiding away, always there, never leaving. Even when you think it's all sunshine and rainbows, it never truly goes away. So, it can be whatever you think it is. A terrible secret, a scary monster, a childhood fear of the dark. It could be made up, or it could be real. It doesn't just scare you. Maybe whatever it is drains you as well, bit by bit. And what makes it scary is knowing it's always there. Holy crap. It's safe to say that no one expected that from her. The temporary silence in the room confirms that. Natsuki frowns, evidently nonplussed by what she just heard. Even the cool, calm, and collected Monica looks a little taken back. Yuri, on the other hand, smiles contentedly, seemingly unfazed by the somber explanation coming from Sayori. Wow. Okay, it's not just me who didn't see that coming, right? Laughter fills the club room. I mean it, Sayori. Your use of metaphors and use of darker thematic imagery was very refreshing to see. Just do me a favor and don't turn into another Yuri, okay? Natsuki! Kidding. It was great, Sayori. Aw, you guys. Right, Natsuki. The dark. Sometimes I lay awake at night. Friggin' shut up, computer. Sometimes I lie awake at night, sitting in a room devoid of light, and think about the monsters waiting in the dark. I can't even imagine what they look like. Maybe sharp claws, skin lined with spikes. Maybe a mouth that could swallow me whole. Maybe red eyes that could pierce my soul. Maybe they could eat me right now if they wanted. Yet they wait. Waiting for me to close my eyes. Waiting for me to dream of the light. Waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But now I'm thinking about the monsters, and I'm still lying awake in the dark. Ooh. Yeah, I know it's not great. Actually, I quite like it, Natsuki. It's pretty obvious that horror is something out of your comfort zone. But you did an exceptional job at combining your style of writing with horror. Fear is a very complex emotion, and it's so challenging to put it into simple words. But I'd say you did quite well. I would, I would have to agree with Monica. Fear isn't something that's meant to be completely understood. The, the complexity behind what a person fears what they, and why they're afraid of it is almost unfathomable. Your poem is about fear of the dark, and more specifically, a fear of the unknown, yes? Yeah, just, I don't like knowing what's there. I don't, I don't like not feeling safe. My poem is all about how your imagination plays tricks on you when you're in the dark. You know, there's no such thing as monsters, but like you can never be completely sure. That's what scares me, that uncertainty. I can relate, but as I was saying, it's certainly a feat encapsulating something as complex as fear into four simple stanzas. Natsuki smiles proudly. What can I say? I'm good at what I do. Yeah, well done, Natsuki. Sorry, if you say it one more time, I'll. Anyway, moving on. Okay, Harry. Ethereal. Somber sounds of midnight malice float around the chastised chalice, riding otherworldly winds. Letters torn from nails pinned. A looming figure takes my hand, leading me through the sympathy canned. The cumbersome weights ride my shoulders, with serenity of falling boulders. Their their words are muffled by lament, but false reassurance fails to dent the fierce facade of fleeting fear. Time is lost, no longer here. Cobalt nerves, fractured soul, was luminescent of coal. Clacking footsteps from below. Echo, 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 echo. For a moment, the room is silent. Oh, no, I went too far, didn't I? No, no, it's just the kind of thing we're looking for. Would you like to tell us what you were thinking of when you wrote this? Okay. Yuri takes a deep breath. It's a bit hard to describe, but sometimes there are nights where my mind just seems to be full of noise. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Nights where I can hear. He trails off absentmindedly. Did you get caught up in her own poem that much? Hey, Earth to Yuri. Uh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked. It's okay, Yuri. Don't feel like you have to rush. Yeah, take your time. Right. Well, as I was saying, I wanted to try to capture the feelings one might have on a bit of a dark night. Wait, aren't all nights dark? It's a metaphor, Sayori. I think Yuri's trying to talk about when people are going through a difficult time. That's right, Richie. The dead of night can be very fickle. It can be peaceful. It can be a peaceful time as the world around us winds down. But sometimes being alone in our thoughts can be terrifying. This poem is an attempt to reclaim some of that darkness. Well, I think you did a great job with that, Yuri. Yeah, I really liked it. You did? I. Thank you. Alright, Monica. Reverie. I wake up. Cold, black night. Silent and still. I fall to my knees. Splinters in my hand. Dust in the air. Cold. Where am I? I reach for the light I need. Is it there? The switch is pressed. I feel the warmth on my face, my hands and my arms, and my. I wake up. It's all dark all over. Cold. Silent and numb, I reach out my hand. I have no eyes to see, but I can feel it. I press the switch. The warmth fills me. The dark comes again. I die again. I wake up. Noise in my ears. Voices. Cold. I reach out and feel. Nothing. Where is it? Wasn't it real? Wasn't it here? Everyone reaches, but nobody can touch it. The dark comes again. We'll all die again. I wake up. Here again? That's actually really good. Monica bows a little bit after she finishes. I mull over what she read. I don't really get it. That sounded like something Yuri would have written. Oh, is that a bad thing? Of course not. What does reverie mean? I don't think I've heard it before. It's an English word that means something like having a pleasant daydream. But it comes from a French word that means madness. Ooh. Appropriate for Halloween, isn't it? Monica smile is looking a bit more sinister than normal, somehow. How cultured. Yuri looks a little distressed at the implication of Natsuki's sarcasm, and the idea that Monica's poem sounded like something she might have written. Do both meanings relate to the poem? You could say that. What do you mean? It reflects on how a blissful act can make the pain go away. For a little while. Hmm. And guys, all your poems have been pretty good so far. But just wait till you hear my poem. An evil grin stretches across my face as I whip out my own poem. If you're this confident, then I'll be looking forward to your recitation. Did you put extra effort into this one, Richie? Well, not quite. What's that supposed to mean? It's not a poem that I wrote myself. Richie. But I promise you it's very appropriate for the occasion. This is a poem that has an urban legend attached to it. Supposedly, if you read it out loud, you'll be cursed so something tragic happens to you. Maybe even death. Wah! Richie, that's so scary. I know, right? It's great. This poem is titled Tomino's Hell, written by a poet named Saijo Yaso. And it just so happens that this poem I will be reading to you all at this very moment. Richie, don't do it. What if something really bad happens to you? Yeah, right. It's called an urban legend for a reason, you know. Emphasis on legend, as in something that's not real. Still, I'd like to see the date. I'd like to see the data on all the people read the poem. So you've read the poem so far. And statistically speaking, it's likely that something tragic will eventually happen to you anyway. I find that there is always some element of truth behind these stories, though. Of course, this truth may not reflect the literal meaning of the stories and legends. However, there's likely a message behind the legend. Yeah, I'm not gullible enough to believe any of this stuff, though. Alright guys, let's settle down. You can all voice your thoughts after I read it. Alright. Tomino's Hell. Elder sister vomits blood. Younger sister's breathing fire. While sweet little Tomino just spits up the jewels. All, all alone does Tomino go falling into that hell. A hell of utter darkness. Without even flowers. Is Tomino's big sister the one who whips him? The purpose of the scourging Lang's dark in his mind. But lashing and thrashing him, but never quite shattering. One sure path to Avicii, the eternal hell. Into the blackest of hells, guide him now, I pray, to the golden sheep, to the nightingale. How much did he put in that leather pouch to prepare for his trek to eternal hell? Spring is coming, to the valley, to the wood, to the spiraling chasms of the blackest hell. The nightingale in her age, the sheep absorbed with the wagon, the tears well up in the eyes of sweet little Tomino. Sing, O nightingale, in the vast misty forest. The screams of only misses. His little sister, or he screams, he only misses his little sister. His wailing desperation echoes throughout hell. A fox peony opens its golden petals. Down past the 7 mountains and the 7 rivers of hell, the solitary journey of sweet little Tomino. If in this hell he may be found, may they then come to me, please, for those sharp spikes of punishment from Needle Mountain. Not just on some empty whim. Is flesh pierced with blood-red pins. They serve as hellish signposts for sweet little Tomino. Not sure if it's just me overthinking it, but I feel a strange chill running down my spine after reading that. Richie, that was seriously too scary. It was alright. I should probably downplay it, at least for Sayori's sake. I'd have to agree with Sayori. It had a very creepy, old-fashioned feel to it. After hearing that, I wouldn't doubt that something bad looms in your future. Monica! Personally, I found that poem quite beautiful. Of course, it's certainly eerie. But there are a lot of symbols and metaphors that I could pick out just from hearing the one reading. I think that I'll have to look at this poem more in my free time. You guys think that was scary? It was pretty much meh in my opinion. The poet was clearly trying too hard to be edgy and smart. If I may respectfully disagree, the tone and word choice of the poem matches its content. It's not written by it simply to be edgy. After all, if I understood it correctly, Tomino was banished to hell after murdering his own parents. Eh? How did you get that out of the poem? Well, it mentions that Tomino is on his way to Avicii, the lowest of hells in Buddhism. And killing one's parents is a way to get is the way that you get sent there. Oh, well, whatever. I still don't like it. Well, you guys can agree to disagree. But whether you like the poem or not, you'd have to agree that it and the legend attached to it are pretty interesting, right? I mean, I guess. Richie, I'm gonna have to keep a good eye on you from now on. Just in case the legend comes true. Sayori, there's probably a bigger chance that something bad will happen to you first, given how clumsy you are. Hey! We all share a laugh, with Sayori joining in after a moment of pouting. Guys, this has been so enjoyable. It's fun to scare your friends with silly pranks and dressing up is a lot of fun. Although, I don't really like horror that much. It's just so scary to think what could be out there. Ooh, stop being a chicken, Sayori. Hey, you're the one who got scared by Monica earlier. The girls all laugh at my expense. They let out a groan. She's never gonna let me live this one down. Touche. Anyway, it's ghost story time, right? I don't really know many ghost stories, to be honest. Sorry. But I looked on the internet to find some. Most are super long, like this one about what was it? Some kind of sleep experiment? No. Oh, are they actually gonna be reading creepypastas? No effing shot. I know what Sayori's talking about. I know the reference talking about, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna let you guys figure it out. Sayori, you're rambling. Oh, oops. Sorry, I'm new to telling scary stories. I'm curious though, guys. What sights and sounds scare you? I'll be honest with you. Silence scares me, especially after I've read a gripping horror story. Is it just me who finds reverse music really creepy? Ooh. I mean, you're not really alone there. A lot of people find it creepy. My piano teacher showed me a few reverse pieces once. It just felt wrong to listen to, especially when there's vocals. You start hearing things that aren't there. I don't know. Come on, there's to be something out there that creeps you out. Ugh, you'll just laugh. We won't. She's right, Natsuki. We've all shared. What is it? Natsuki averts her eyes, talking to the floor. The noises that children's toys make. It's like when I'm home alone and think of like a Jack in the Box playing by itself. It'd creep you guys out too. Nah, I'm with you. I've always found anything to do with children scary, especially in the dark. The sounds of babies crying, for example. Normally it's annoying, but if I heard it in the dark and there was no one else around, I shiver. Well, it's fitting that you mention that, Richie. Don't you remember that argument we had on Halloween back when we were 10? No. Siri, where is this going? We were both on our way to a Halloween party. It was pretty quiet out, so you could hear everything. I heard the sound of a baby crying, but it was coming from inside it wasn't coming from inside anyone's house or anything. There weren't many people on the street either, and it definitely wasn't one of them. It was coming from down the dark alleyway. Chill runs down my spine as I remember exactly what that incident she's talking about. Eh, I remember I wanted to go out and investigate. I was scared that it was a toddler in danger. But you didn't let me. You were too chicken to... Hey! Okay, we were just in a rush. But anyway, pretty creepy, right? I guess I can see what you mean about babies crying being creepy. I was a bit scared myself. Looking back, I'm glad you convinced me not to go. Guess being a wimp has its perks, huh? Yuri, Sayori, and Natsuki all laugh. Monica, however, looks like she's been slapped in the face. Guys, do you not realize how lucky you were? Eh? Oh god, you guys have no idea. What? Sayori, did anything seem a bit off? The baby's cry? Sayori scrunches up in her face in an attempt to recall. No, not really. Well, it did sound a bit repetitive, though. Like, the cries didn't change much. Monica's voice shakes as she replies. Guys, that's what serial killers do to lure out young women. I can't help but burst out laughing. What? Pretend to be babies? Come on, Monica, you had me going for a second there, but you kind of ruined the punchline. She looked straight into my eyes. No, Richie. They record clips of baby cries and hide the speaker in a dark place. They prey on women's maternal instincts because they know they're attracted to the sound of infants in distress. The laughter, the laughter dies on my lips. There's a cold, sickening silence takes its place. Oh my god. That's why the cries didn't sound natural. They were just recorded a small segment and replayed it over and over. It all makes sense now. The unnatural cries in the dark alleyway, the meticulous, calculated effort to ensure the unsuspecting victim. Wait, hang on. Didn't Miss Kasumi go missing around that time? Miss Kasumi used to teach Sayori and I a long time ago. What happened to her exactly? Sayori shrugs. We were told that she moved away suddenly to work in a different part of the country, right? People used to spread really scary, horrible rumors about what happened to her, but they don't really make sense. Hang on. She she had a child of her own that year, didn't she? Oh god, she did. And my parents wouldn't really discuss her whenever I asked. They were super dismissive of the whole thing. I always wondered why. Oh my goodness. Wait, you guys actually believe that? Everybody looks at Natsuki shocked. On! There's no way you guys almost walked into a trap. Besides, that's just an urban legend, right? What happened to their teacher then? She just disappeared and Richie's parents refused to talk about it? I don't know about you, but that just seems pretty convenient for the story. Well, maybe some things are better left unanswered, huh? Although, I do hope Sayori and I were just misremembering. Well, on a cheerful note, how about we move on to the next story? I'd like to nominate Natsuki. My story? Uh, Natsuki, do you not have one? Hey, I never said that. I do, but it's just, I got it off the internet. I don't like horror. So if it's bad, it's not my fault, okay? Natsuki clears her throat. Anyway, this one's, this one's about two friends named Aoi and Nariko. Aoi and Nariko. Hopefully I can understand this story. Basically, there was this rumor going around their high school about about people seen going in and out of abandoned house on the outskirts of town. Most people thought they were just drug dealers, but some swore by the fact that the house was being used by a cult of some sort. Aoi and Naruko were pretty outgoing and adventurous, so they decided one night to check the place out. They get to the house and it's pitch black out. Luckily, Aoi had brought flashlights for the two of them. Nariko, on the other hand, brought a knife with her, just in case they ran out into any trouble. They go inside and the place reeks. We're talking about Richie's room level of stink. Hey! Everybody bursts out laughing. Was it really necessary? Sorry, I had to. Anyway, they look around for a bit and they found the door to the basement, the stairs on the second floor, things like that. Finally, they go to the kitchen and find the source of the smell. There's some weed on the table, and it looks like it was recently used. This confirms Aoi's suspicion that it was just drug dealers, and she wants to leave. Nariko, on the other hand, still wants to snoop around a bit. They get into an argument with each other, and Nariko calling Aoi a coward because she thinks Aoi wants to leave since she's afraid of all the rumors. And Nariko goes, yeah, well, if you're not afraid, then go down into the basement. Aoi gladly accepts and walks over to the basement door. As soon as she opens it, she feels a sharp pain in her back, and before she can react, she gets pushed down the stairs. She tumbles down the stairs, and once she hits the bottom, she realizes she can't feel her legs. Her vision blurred, and she can barely make out a figure standing on top of the stairs with a knife. The last thing Aoi hears before she passes out is Nariko's footsteps as she descends down the stairwell, and an old, grizzled voice say, "This one will do nicely." The very next day, Nariko and Aoi call in sick. It's kind of a shame, really, because they miss out on all the talk about how someone heard strange animal-like growls coming from the old abandoned house on the outskirts of town. So yeah, hope you guys liked it or whatever. What happened to Nariko and Aoi at the end? Didn't they die? They died. They didn't die, did they? Use your imagination. Nice story, Natsuki. Cults usually provide a good fodder for horror stories. Indeed, I've read quite a few novels including cults. Doesn't Portrait of Markov involve something like that? Something similar, yes. Speaking of Yuri and horror stories, how about you go next, Yuri? Me? Alright then. Give it your best shot. You're walking alone one pale autumnal night. Autumnal, okay. So like fall? The, the moon is graceful, casting her light down upon below like snowdrops. As you continue down the path, something shambles behind you. You turn around to look for what it might be, but all you see is a cluster of leaves rustled by by a pale air. Slowly returning, you notice the lights in every house around you going out, then flickering before fully extinguishing. With tentative steps, you advance towards one of them to investigate. As you are about to reach the window, you hear something snapping behind you. A broken twig is all that remains. Uncertainty floating around inside your head, you unconsciously start walking faster away from the suburbs. Eventually, you find solace in silence, the only sound being your heartbeat. It's quiet. Nothing bad seems to be happening now. In fact, nothing at all seems to be happening. Confused, you look around and see that you're in front of your house in the street. No one is stirring, nor are there any lights. Gently pacing towards your house, you go through the door. The lights are on, and television is on, but no one in sight. This is unusual. You were expecting your parents to be home tonight. They had gone out without telling you? No, that couldn't be it. They always let you know where they'll be. You pull out your phone and open your contacts to give them a call. However, no one is registered in there anymore. No matter how hard you try to remember, you can't call out to them. Suddenly, there's a heavy knock on the door. You peer through the keyhole. You see no one. Another knock. Another. You cautiously open the door, but there's still no one there. No one anywhere. How did this happen? Why are you alone in the piercing silence? Silence so loud it fills your ears. You do not know, and there isn't any way for you to find out. That's it? What a dumb story. Nothing even happened. Where were the scary monsters and stuff? There is no greater fear than the unknown, Natsuki. Sharp claws can be prepared for, enigmatic silence cannot. What's more fearful? Something you know is coming for you, or feeling safe when you are in fact not? Quite a somber note to end your story on, Yuri. We can always count on you for a good horror tale, huh? Anyway, I'll go next. Although, a scary story. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've come up with a ghost story before. I haven't read too many horror stories either. Well, I guess that isn't a surprise. Just make one up then. It'll be fun. Well, I can't say that I've tried that before. Are you trying to get out of telling a story? Of course not. Now that I think about it, there is one that I've heard. Marika's expression turns serious. The mood in the room turns serious. When she uses the same intensity she did for when she read her poems, and everyone quiets down. A number of years ago, Tanabata had come along as it does every year. Wait, what's Tanabata? Tanabata is a star festival, the Star Festival is held on the evening of July 7th. The festival traces its origins and legends of Coherd Star and Weaver Star, lovers separated by the Milky Way, are allowed to meet just once a year on the 7th day of the 7th month. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's the story of a lost little girl. Where am I? She cried. She cried and cried, hoping desperately she could find someone to help her. But the little girl was alone. Nobody could hear her. But just as all hope seemed lost, she heard a voice. Isn't the night wonderful? The girl looked up. Where before there was nobody was now a man in an elegant yukata. He wore what looked like a no mask, but it was completely blank. Behind the man stood a stall and masks and lanterns of all sorts hanging from it. How rude of me, the man admonished himself. Welcome, dear customer. Your heart seems unhappy. Why not take a look at my wares? The man said. He gestures to the mask behind him. Please take one that will bring a smile to your face. The girl looked at the masks. There were ones that looked frightening, ones that looked strange, ones that looked exotic, and many others. What about your mask, mister? The girl asked. I'm sorry, but this mask is very special. It's not for sale. The girl looked sad. I like that mask. It's really cool. The man laughed softly. It's been called many things, but this is perhaps the first time it's been called cool. Would you like a fruit? The man asked, picking one from the tree behind him. They're sweet and delicious. The girl reached to take it, but the man pulled his hand back. Ah, they're not for children. The girl was confused. But just tonight, it should be fine, he said as he offered his hand once again. In the Festival of the Nights, children can become adults, and adults become children. Is that true? Asked the girl, and the man assured her it was. The girl took the fruit and bit into it. It was unlike anything she had tasted before. It was almost overwhelming, but the flavor was wonderful. It's good, the girl said happily. The man laughed again. I'm glad you think so. There's plenty, so please eat all you like. As she ate, the man took down a mask. What about this one? The girl took the mask. It looks like me, but she looks like a princess, the girl said in awe. Do you like it? Please take it. But what about money? Asked the girl. I don't need money. Instead, I would like to be friends. Is that okay? Of course, the girl agreed. From now on, we're friends. I'm glad, the man said with gratitude. Why not put on your mask? The girl did so. She was overcome with a strange feeling. Why is it, she asked. Alas, long have I dreamt of this moment. My dear, my Eve, my only friend. The man smiled behind his mask as he spoke as the light of the stars began to fade. For it is the Festival of the Nights, where children become adults and adults become children. Let it be known. Another unconventional horror story, I see. Yep, I guess monsterless horror stories are more popular than you'd think. I'd rather like the mysterious tone myself. It's very reminiscent of the style of Asian horror stories. You guys have a weird sense of what's scary. I mean, the story isn't necessarily meant to scare you to death. Spirits don't have to just be frightening, you know. Well, it is Halloween. Aren't things supposed to be scary today? But Halloween is fun too, not just scary. Alright, you guys, break it up. Let's just all agree to disagree again. Monica smiles gratefully at me, while Natsuki shoots me a disgruntled look. Anyway, I guess it's my turn to tell a story. So this is something that actually happened to a friend of mine. Oh, really? Yes, really. So it happened to Sayori then. Huh? The story is about me? Is that true, Richie? What? No, it's not. Let's just get on with the story, shall we? Righto, anyway. So this friend of mine lived alone in an apartment building. He lived in the downtown area and loved to party all night, and one night, he was out as usual. However, when he stumbled back home in the early hours of the morning, he realized that he lost his keys and was locked out of his apartment. So he ended up having to call his landlord, who was pissed at having to wake up in the middle of the night to let him back in. But in the end, he was able to get home safely, so that's all that matters, right? I can certainly relate to that comforting feeling. Right, but when he got inside, he noticed that his keys were actually on his nightstand. So he didn't lose them after all. They weren't an extra set that his landlord lent him? Nope. He was able to recognize them by the keychain he attached to it. So that's it? Pretty much, yeah. What's so scary about that? Guess you haven't realized it yet, huh? What do you mean? The apartment was locked when he got back, right? Yeah, I got that part. But his keys were still in the apartment. So how do you suppose he locked them in? Huh? Someone must have gone into his apartment and placed them inside, then locked the door themselves from the inside. And the only set of keys were my friend's and his landlord's, so whoever it was brought his keys back. Was still in the apartment when he got home. But who was it then? He never found out. You're gonna make me permanently paranoid. That was quite an enjoyable story, Richie. Although it was short, the realization at the end definitely made up for that. Plus, the story calls on real fears of things like squatters, stalkers, and killers. Who knows? Maybe one of us has a squatter living in our own home, hidden away, never to be found. Stop right there! I don't even want to think about it! Okay, okay, the story wasn't half bad. Glad you all liked it. I'll have to admit, this one's pretty fun, guys. Yeah, it really has. We should do this sort of thing stuff more often. Story, Halloween only comes around once a year. Oh, yeah. If I may make a suggestion. We all turn to look at her. Well, as it's fitting for the mood, would you like to try a Kokkuri-san game? Huh? What's that? Oh, that Ouija board thing? Really? You're gonna fuck around with Ouija boards, all right? One thing I've learned: never screw with Ouija boards. Okay? It's never a good idea. Isn't that just some urban legend? Only if you believe it is, Natsuki. Ouija board stuff, huh? One ha- on one hand, although it's not very hard to scare me, I am a bit skeptical about ghosts. Although I've heard from a lot of people that messing around with dark arts is dangerous business. I mean, we're in a dark school late at night, no one else around. If we really did open a portal to a malevolent spirit to enter our world, who knows what could happen? Nah, that's a bit too far-fetched. At least if the spooky ghost kills me, I won't have to do that math homework I've been procrastinating for a week. Seems a lot more tempting now. Can you tell us more, Yuri? Of course. So Kokkuri-san is the name of a well-known spirit we'll summon. The name comprises of animals: a fox, kok, a dog, ku, and a raccoon, ri. Each animal represents something different. For example, the dog is loyal and protecting, while the fox is a trickster or a teacher. You can ask Kokkuri-san different things. You can ask who loves you, whether you'll become rich, etc. Hang on. You can ask it anything? A devilish smile crosses her face. Why don't we ask Kokkuri-san when we're going to die? Yuri looks aghast, nervously fiddling with a strand of her hair. Natsuki, there are questions you shouldn't ask, and that's one of them. Nah, come on, Yuri. This is the perfect time for it. I don't think you realize what we're getting into. There are many stories of people messing around with spirits, all ending in awful consequences. Aw, come on, Yuri. Besides, it's part dog. If it starts trying to possess someone, we can just throw a stick for it. Also, it's a Shinto spirit, not demon or ghost. That Spooky is the one wearing the bone outfit, and we all know dogs love bones. So just throw her who has to worry. Natsuki would have made a wonderful Medusa with a death glare like that. Well, seeing as we've already broken in and have some illegal contraband on our hands, she shoots a wink at Yuri, who ducks her head down, blushing. Adding some animalistic race into the mix. Well, might as well. Yay, that's the spirit. Okay then, let's begin the preparations. With ritual set up and candles dimmed, we're ready to go. We also had an to open a window, which, according to Yuri, allows the spirit to enter and exit. The ambient noises from outside permeate the room, adding to the atmosphere within. So what happens now? Ooh. Place a coin on the red gate. The torii is where the spirit enters and exits. Now everyone place your index finger on the coin. After a bit of crowding, we managed to squeeze the tip of everyone's finger onto the coin. Be careful not to let go of the coin. Oh. What happens if we do? Oh, please don't. Fine, fine, let's get on with this already. Alright. Yuri visibly composes herself and continues. Kokkuri-san, if you're here, please move this coin. First, nothing happens. Just Natsuki thought a silly urban legend. No way! There's no way the coin just moved. My eyes had to be playing tricks on me. The coin, initially on the red torii, slowly slides across to yes. Ooh. Did you guys see that? Even Natsuki is in a state of disbelief. Alright, who did that? Real jokester you are, very funny. The crickets outside can be heard clearly in the silence that follows. No one steps up to claim responsibility for the coin's movement. Wow, so that's how it's gonna be, huh? Whoever it was, just tell us already. More crickets. Fine, I'm not bringing cupcakes anymore until someone admits to it. But not spooky. And stop calling me that. I bet it was Yuri. She was the one who suggested it. Eh? Me? I would never. I guess Yuri is a scaredy cat. It wasn't me either. Yeah, Yuri's a scaredy cat too. So that leaves Richie and Monica. Natsuki, have you considered that maybe, just maybe, it really is Kokkuri-san moving the coin? Yeah, right. There's no such thing as ghosts. Kokkuri-san is a spirit, not a ghost. Same difference. Well, all I have to say is that I didn't do it. Natsuki's skeptical glare causes me to hurry on. But I know that there's gotta be some sort of scientific explanation for this. I can't seriously be witnessing the paranormal, can I? Okay, Einstein, what's your scientific explanation for this then? Er, I'm working on it. Uh-huh, it has to be one of us doing it. I know, why don't we ask Okuri-san something that Richie and I couldn't have known? Given that you seem to suspect the most. Okay then, Sayori, ask it something. What should I ask? I don't know, anything that Richie and Monica couldn't have known. Um, I know. Kokuri-san, can you please tell me what I have on the top shelf of my refrigerator? What kind of question is that supposed to be? Sorry, I guess I'm kind of hungry. Adventure peters out as we expectantly watch the coin. Suddenly, coin jerks a little to the right. Natsuki squints as she scrutinizes each of our faces. Meanwhile, the rest of the girls' eyes seem to be glued on the coin, Yuri's face blanching at each further movement. Everyone seems to await with bated breath as the coin slowly inches over. The letter R. A. Sayori's eyes widen while Yuri ever looks so slightly backs away from the paper. The coin carries on moving. Rame. Ramen? They're leftovers. Sayori, you've really got to eat more healthily. But it's so tasty. We should really be using Kokuri-san to answer such frivolous questions. That wasn't frivolous at all. We were proving whether or not it was one of them moving the thing. And now you have your answer. None of us moved it. Wait, so is that supposed to mean it was Kokuri-san who moved it? Monica seems awfully cheery at this revelation. Man, Monica, does anything faze you? I've just been in much scarier scenarios than this. Plus, I've got to stay confident as the president, you know. I see. Ah, so Kokuri-san is real then. Ooh, I tried to get you all to take this seriously. I mean, you can't really blame us for thinking this was all fake. I do still think there's a trick to this. Natsuki. Whatever. If you want us to take this seriously, then I'll take this to a serious places, alright? Natsuki. Kokuri-san, what is the date of my death? Yuri throws me a frightened look as we all wait for the coin to move. Her, her finger feels cold as ice against mine. Slowly, the coin moves to the letter N and inches over to the numbers. 31, 10, 2018. October 31st, 2018. That's today. I don't like this anymore, guys. Some questions are better off not being asked. That can't be true, right? Kokuri-san. What about the other girls in this room? The coin doesn't move. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Don't you want to know the date of your own death? Yeah, like some piece of paper and a coin is gonna tell me that. You looked pretty scared earlier. Shut up! As I move away, Yuri gasps. Richie, we haven't properly finished the game yet. There's a certain procedure. Ugh, there's no point. He's already taken his finger off the coin. Broken the finger on the coin rule. What do we do? Sorry, Yuri. I'll come back to help you guys finish in a bit. You better hurry up, Richie. Woo. Finally out of the club room. I can't believe that game actually scared me. Although I'm curious to know who it was that rigged the game. It had it had to have been rigged, right? The bathroom was pitch black when I opened the door, save for the faint moonlight glistening off the bathroom mirror. The contrast between the darkness and the shining glass dazzles me for a moment until I notice it. Notice what? A dark figure within the glass is standing completely still? Nope. 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 I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like this one bit. I don't like this one bit. I hate you. All the urban legends that I've heard involving mirrors began to rush through my head. Some instincts inside me stopped me from moving, as if doing so would stop me from being noticed. I don't even dare take a breath. As my eyes start to water from the lack of oxygen, the figure in the mirror seems to start wavering as well. Crap, crap, crap. I can't take it anymore. As I bend over to take a wheezing breath, the figure ducks down as well. Huh? Is that my reflection? Bro got scared of his own reflection. Are you kidding me? Bro, are you serious? Scanning my surroundings, I quickly jump to the light switch and flick it on as fast as possible. The fluorescent lights overhead flicker to life, confirming my suspicion. I glare at my reflection then snort. Luckily that no one else was there to see that. Yeah, that would have been so embarrassing, bro. I slammed the stall door shut on compulsion, a sign of bravado to myself, I guess. Cling, Cringing at the shockingly loud echoes of the door reverberating around the room, I can't help but remain quiet now. The frigid tap water at the sinks reminds me of Yuri's icy hands during the game. I should probably hurry back. What perhaps the That was perhaps the most nerve-wracking trip to the bathroom I've ever taken. I shake my head. Snap out of it, Richie. All these sorts of stories aren't real. Ghosts aren't real. It's awfully quiet around inside the club room. Wonder that Wonder what witchcraft the girls are up to now. Stepping into the classroom, a pang of fear and adrenaline shoots through my heart. At first glance, the girls seem to have disappeared. But I quickly realize that they haven't disappeared. They're all crouched on the floor and the desks. Oh, very convincing, guys. Yeah, I totally believe that you're all actually dead. Very funny. A slight rustling gets my attention. Suddenly my peripheral vision moves on the Kokkuri-san paper. Curious, I amble over. You should never have what? Why is the coin spelling this out? Wait, more importantly, how's the coin moving by itself? My mind flashes back to what Yuri said before I left. We hadn't properly finished the game. There's a certain procedure that we were supposed to follow. But what happens if you don't do that at all? Hold on. It's not like ghosts are real though, right? They must be playing a prank on me, right? I reach down to shake Monica's shoulder. She's laying prone on the floor. I can't help but feel a dread that her body will be cold. As I start to reach down, I freeze. Are those footsteps outside? No one else is supposed to be in the school, right? In panic state, I scan the bodies on the floor. All the girls are here, so footsteps grow louder and louder. They they sound so normal. They don't sound normal. Almost like they're shuffling or dragging along. Is this real? Am I starting to hear things now? The blood rushing through my ears and drowning out the sound of the footsteps. Where are they now? Can't tell. Are they close by? Should I hide? How much time until they reach the club room? I can't tell. Crap, crap, crap. I throw myself to the floor and squeeze my eyes shut. The sound of my heart hammering in my chest is almost deafening. Over the drumming in my heart, I hear it. Footsteps stopping right outside the club room. Please, please, please don't open the door. The door rattles open. There's an awful, sickening silence. Till someone or something breathes. It's kind of raspy gurgling. Oh god, I fucking hear that. No. Oh, I actually hear that. A low, deep vocalization. Something that sounds off, as if someone had warped the sound of the computer of a computer program. Something completely and utterly unnatural that raises the hair on the back of my neck. Ho, ho, ho. I feel absolutely paralyzed. My muscles are tense, my jaw is aching from the clenching it shut in nervousness. If But if I relaxed, the adrenaline running through my body would immediately give me away with my trembling. As the sweat trickles down the side of my head, I hear it drawing near. Pull, pull, pull. A warm moistness settles on my neck as if someone were breathing over me. I dare not even breathe. The idea of breathing in the fetid smell of its breath nearly triggers my gag reflex. Am I imagining this? I can't be, can I? I can't think of any way this could all just be a simple prank. There's no way the girls could have manufactured this being that feels so wrong to its very core. The temptation to satisfy my curiosity looks at whatever hovering over me is almost overpowering. But an instinct deep within demands I keep my eyes shut. Can't help but feel a dread that something horrific will happen if I look up. All I can do is pray that this thing will go away. Please go away, please go away, please go away. This mantra can help me drown out the sheer fear of I'm feeling. While soundlessly chanting my mantra over and over again, I realized that the room had gone quiet. Suspiciously quiet. It's too soon to move, Isn't it? I'll give it 5 minutes until I peek out at the room. Seconds turn to years, but turn to decades. Keep how much time has passed, and given my panicked state of mind, I don't trust myself to judge time well. It feels like an hour has passed, but it's probably more like a minute or two. Or has it been 5 minutes? Should I open my eyes? Should I? Hold on, shouldn't I be getting help for the others soon? But if something happens to me, then I can't get help for them anyway. What do I do? How much longer should I hold out for? I can't believe this is actually happening. I've gone insane, haven't I? Do I dare open my eyes? I strain to hear something, anything, but it's completely silent. Do I dare? Do I? Maybe I should, if only for to end this torment. Screw it! I cautiously open my eyes to the smallest peek, peeking out from behind a curtain of flashes. Nothing's there. Just empty classroom. A wave of relief cascades my body and as quietly as I dare, let out a breath I've been holding in. I lay there a bit, breathing heavily. Slowly get up and walk over to Monica, desperately shake her. In my hysterical state, I can't help but think she's probably dead. Monica, please wake up. Your face. Monica! My. What? You should have seen your face. She sits up, emerald eyes tearing up from mirth. What, did you think we're actually dead? Her laughter fills the room as the other girls also sit up. I'm sorry for scaring you twice in one night, Richie. But as you said, it is Halloween. This is the whole thing. It was just this whole thing. It was just a prank? The board, the footsteps, Of course. You had told me about the Kokkuri-san a week before Halloween, so I was able to rig the answers. It wasn't a ghost or anything like that, dummy. So he would have said that Kokkuri-san was right no matter what answer Monica made it give. And the footsteps? They're just some little speakers I hid outside the classroom. So he had the idea to pre-record some footsteps and send them to me so we could make it sound like something was coming. I sighed as the tension leaves my body. At least there was a rational explanation for all this. As all the other girls laugh, I couldn't help but join in. Yeah, they got me fair and square. Okay, guys, I'll admit. Well played, you got me good. Curious, though. How did you guys get another person to agree to this? Huh? What do you mean? Come on, guys, the game's up. I know it was just a prank. No, seriously, what do you mean? Are you really gonna keep up the joke? You know the guy who came in while I was on the floor. He was all gurgly and raspy and kept making these noises. Like he was saying, well, I'll sound dumb if I try to mimic him, but it was like something like, Poe. Richie, what are you talking about? We didn't ask anyone to help out. After all, we couldn't take the risk of having someone report that we trespassed. Indeed, Monica's ruse was simply to rig the Kokkuri-san ritual and use the speakers. Who are you talking about? As far as we're concerned, we're the only ones in the building. What? What? You guys are completely serious now? The girls all nod at me. The only thing I did were deliberately moving the coin around while I was touching it and rigging the speakers. Nothing else? That's right. Siri, you swear you're telling the truth. I am. Siri would never lie to me like that to me. So that means, wait, so you guys didn't hear that? They all exchange looks of bewilderment. Am I actually losing my mind? Like Yuri said, I'm pretty sure it's just us in this building. You're honestly telling me you didn't hear anything? The girls share a look of alarm. Richie, relax. There was nothing there. It's okay. Yeah, even if there was some spooky ghost, I would have kicked its butt. Natsuki, please. Ghosts are immune to normal and fighting. Wait, wrong series. A tinge of humor along with Sayori's reassurance helps calm me down a little. I'm not exactly convinced, but if the others didn't see or hear anything and they were in the same room, then I must have just imagined it. Right? Okay, everyone. It's getting late. Let's all clean up and call it a night. I used to think that I had grown out of Halloween, but today made me realize that anyone can enjoy it. Horror can be fun. Maybe I'll talk to Yuri about that stuff. More about that stuff. You okay? Huh? Yeah, I'm good. I was just thinking about the Ouija board. That thing really got you, huh? I was a little scared too, even though I knew Monica was behind it all. Anyway, I'll see you at school tomorrow. Good night. See you, Sayori. As I turn and walk home, I can't help but laugh. Yeah, those girls got me good. I never saw that coming. And the bit where the coin was moving by itself was really good too. Wait. Monica says she only rigged the actual ritual. Not that she moved the coin around afterwards. Not to mention, there was no way she could have moved it when she was on the floor. The coin, the entity? So does that mean... I take it back. I hate Halloween. Damn, what a way to end it. Wow. That was something. Alright, well then. I'm gonna leave this video here for now. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why.